Bear Mode, a podcast review of The Bear, is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
Welcome back to the show, kids. You are tuned in to Bear Mode, a podcast review of The Bear. Back is with you as always. I'm Tom Clark, joined by Big Tasty, Joe Higgins, and Jay Luft. And if you were hoping for a chill episode, we told you last week you were going to get one, and you didn't believe us, did you? Did you? But you did get one, because we're always honest. We never work our audience, right? They can't all be hardcore matches, kids. Can't watch people get put through flaming tables every week on this freaking show like they did last week in that Christmas episode. We all had to take major power naps after that. But guess what? We're back this week with episode 7 from season 2. This one's called Forks. And man, breath of fresh air. I was one of my favorite episodes of all time. Tasty, you and I started this thing before we hit record here today talking about quite possibly not just of this show, but of TV favorite episode of all time. What's your thoughts going into this one?
Yeah, I was saying to you before we start the episode, I can understand why Fishers gets all the reaction, gets all the plaudits. It's the big, loud, bombastic. You know, a car crashes through a wall. It's got the budget. It's got the set piece. This is my favorite episode of not only of the show, but possibly, as I said to you, Tom, it's on my Mount Rushmore of all-time favorite episodes.
Great stuff. Joe, what do you think about this one going in?
I'd completely forgotten about this episode entirely, to be honest, from the first time I watched it. I knew we went and did stuff, but I didn't remember it being an entire episode. I thought other stuff was going on around it. But it is just, I mean, as I texted you before we started, I've cried like 3 times throughout this. After last week's thing of just the stress and this is the release of that valve, that pressure that's built up. This is, okay, yeah. It's the peaks and trough things that I talk about a lot of. You can't be all hardcore matches. You've got to put, comedy wrestling in there, in between.
For sure. Yeah, this is Jay. This is the let me up match where you can sit back in your seat and take a little bit of a breath and compose yourself after the last banger of a main event. But honestly, Jay, this episode is great. As we all know, you're watching in real time. What do you think about this one going in?
I was a wreck going into this because I didn't know what to expect after like Jamie Lee Curtis smashing a car through the wall of the house. I felt like, well, I mean, joking aside, that we sort of spoke about it. Like, obviously, that was like a flashback episode to sort of give everyone a bit more like of an idea of where everyone is, and I feel like it was important to establish the whole like difference between Tiff and Richie then to Tiff and Richie in this episode, because it made that scene hit 10 times harder than it would have if you just like that's the first time you're meeting Tiff.
I've got a question for you, Jay. So going in, did you know this was a Richie episode?
No, I had no idea, because the first scene in Sydney.
And when you realized it was going to be a Richie episode, were you concerned?
I was nervous because Richie's Richie. So when I realized it was, so obviously, like we see the first scene, we see Sydney like working on the dish again.
Coach K, baby.
Like, and Coach K as well. And I've got thoughts about that, which we'll get to. But then, like as soon as it goes into Richie, I was like, oh, is this just going to be like the Marcus episode, but with Richie instead of Marcus, where it kind of like adds a little bit more like depth and meat, like as I said to you guys, a bit more meat to the bone of that character. And I'm glad that it was, but also the entire time I was nervous because it's Richie, and the man's a debacle. And there's one scene when I was literally like visibly like it was like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. And I didn't need to be, but it was just because it's Richie, you expect it to happen.
Yep. After the fork throwing last week, and they have him polishing forks, I'm like, oh, hey up.
Right?
that was a nice little juxtaposition, to be fair.
I love that. Yeah. Well, look, I'm with you, man. I haven't. I'm also with Joe here because I haven't. I didn't remember much of anything about this episode. But yeah, you just brace yourself and cross your fingers and your toes and hope to goodness that Richie doesn't F something up. because at the end of the day, you're pulling for the sky. And buddy, I am for sure. And if anybody else wasn't out there watching in real time, I bet you are now, because he gave you a lot more reason to believe in him in this episode. So, kids, let's go ahead and do the thing that we came here to do. This episode, as we said before, is called Forks. This is indeed episode 7, 10 episodes in this season. We're almost there, kids. Can you believe that? Let's run down episode 6 just so we can remind everybody of where we were.
So
as
we have
if you
to.
could. I know. No, we don't. But I'm gonna, as if we have to. Good call. A chaotic Berzato family Christmas, worst Christmas ever, by the way, unfolded years before the restaurant ever existed in a flashback episode as Carmy returned home to a house already on the edge. Sugar tried to keep their peace with Mike while Mikey bounced between humor and volatility. Richie navigated a fragile moment with pregnant Tiffany, and Donna spiraled in the kitchen, boy, I'll say, drinking heavily while attempting the traditional Feast of the Seven Fishes, which no one to this day knows what even effing means. Old tensions resurfaced thanks to Uncle Lee. Carmy struggled to connect with his family, and Michelle quietly encouraged him to escape the dysfunction. Dinner finally brought everything to a breaking point as arguments escalated, forks were thrown, and years of resentment exploded at the table. Donna's emotional collapse culminated in her driving a car through the house, leaving the family stunned and fractured. I did say it was years before the restaurant. I don't mean the beef. I'm talking about the bear. So I should have quantified those statements. But there you go, kids. There's your flashback. And guess what? No chaos to open this episode. I know what you're thinking. Thank God. Same here. We open with Sid in the kitchen, as the guy said before, and we see a video interview with Coach K. He's talking about failure not being a destination, that you need a team to surround you and learn how to listen. You won't learn by talking. Don't make excuses. Figure out the solution and don't figure it out by yourself. Jay, you got thoughts on this? What you got?
So it's interesting, isn't it, that all the advice that he's given there is stuff that Sydney's ignored.
I knew
not
that
just
was going to be it.
Not just Sydney as well, like everyone, but like specifically at the start of this season, Sydney and Carmy have both ignored this quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting that like when she's actually like paying attention to what he's saying, that's when like she gets it right.
Very true. Yeah. I'm in North Carolina, so I respect Coach K. He's not my guy. I'm not a Duke fan. So, but I respect the fact that the guy's a freaking winner. There's absolutely no doubt about it. We see a glimpse of the grease board, and I didn't get every detail that's going on here. But as Sid's preparing the dish, the guys are bringing in seating. The restaurant is really coming together. And like I said, we see the grease board. She's circling things as she's working. Coach K wraps up with what an interesting life it is to be a leader. Joe, what do you got for this scene? Anything jump out at you for this particular opening?
No, we're 4 weeks out, aren't we now?
Mm-hmm.
So this is when you need to have stuff in place, and we're getting a restaurant. After all the spacing out and all of that stuff they were doing the other week, mucking about, like. We're getting to see what this place is going to look like now. It looks very nice. But where's Carmy? Why is Sid doing all this on her own?
Isn't that the restaurant where she's been like just practicing it?
But even so, like if they're trying to put a menu together, like I think it is their resentment between them because of the wall knocking down incident and the $50 plates, like. But all of that stuff he's saying is that she either needs to step up because Carmy's not going to. That's the way I understood it as.
I think I felt that too. Like I felt like because we said a couple of episodes ago, it felt like even though he was going the wrong way about it felt like Carmy was trying to give her a bit more license to actually like use her initiative as opposed to having to run every single thing by him. And I think that was her kind of like the sort of penny dropping, so to speak. And here, like, kind of going, oh yeah, I could just do this myself, as opposed to having to like go to Carmy for like affirmation when it's a joint venture. It's not like it's not all like Carmy. It's her, Carmy, and Sugar.
We see Richie for the first time here. His alarm goes off at 5:38, which we figure maybe he has snoozed a few times like I did this morning. He's in his car smoking already. Good heavens. I never smoked in my life. I guess if you don't do it, you don't understand it, but I don't understand it. Just, thought I'd throw that out there.
There's nothing quite like that first cigarette of the day, mate.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So it's a joke, isn't it? I don't know if it's the same. So in the UK, it's what's referred to as a hospitality breakfast, which is normally a cigarette and an energy drink and a little bit of a cry.
A coffee,
or
normally,
a coffee, yeah.
A pint of coffee.
Some sort of caffeinated drink, a cigarette, and crying a bit, either be it on the bus, on the train, in the car.
Yeah.
Right. That's good.
At very least, what you got Richie doing here, which is just that big exhale.
Yes.
Richie's never been up this early in a long time.
Yeah. No. Chicago's waking up kids. We see him standing outside of a restaurant. And in my notes, he's going back to the restaurant. Blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, oh, that's not the restaurant. So I'm hitting backspace because it's not the beef / the bear. He stands outside this particular restaurant and he says the words, fuck you, cousin. He's not happy. There's a shocker. He's criticizing the whole thing. He goes in, he's criticizing the decor. He's shaking his head. There's weird music playing. There's an odd vibe, at least.
So do you not get the feeling as well? So the way this is shot and lit and color graded, it's very Blade Runner.
Yeah,
it's a little
sort of quasi-futuristic. Yeah,
it's so according to the context and to the notes, the production notes. So this was filmed by. So yeah, he said cinematography leaned on the visual style of Michael Mann.
Okay,
I did very much get that. To be fair.
So she said, so Andrew Weddle, sorry, the cinematographer said, thematically it's dark and it's in the city, it's night, it's urban, the storyline is just so fun in it. The colour grading also played a factor in the look of the episode. Our show is very much in that cool tone, kind of shadow world anyways. A lot of the warmth coming from the Bears restaurant in general and the warmth of the city's brownstones and wood tones, things like that. But for us, this was a time to put Richie in the blue world that Carmy's always in when he's in the kitchen.
I see.
I like that.
It did feel like almost like dystopian when he walked in. Like I said to you guys before we started, it felt like I was watching a different TV show. Like that first scene, I thought I was watching Severance or something.
And Richie's just not interested, is he? Like
this is not Richie's world.
No,
a tiny mobile full of bits of dried fruit or whatever.
The man with the golden cock's nowhere to be seen in this point.
Yeah, exactly.
It was
All Breakers isn't here. He's not firing a gun at anyone. It's like...
it was very sanitized and clean compared to
weird.
The beef
of
Chicago.
He's not feeling coke in this restaurant, is he? Let's face it.
No. But also the music choice. It was Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, and there
are three Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross pieces in this episode.
You can tell because it's very apparent.
It's very discordant. It's very unsettling. It's very
Fantastic.
They also have, I think it's at this point they have David Byrne as well.
David Byrne's in there. Yeah, he's coming up.
Song in the,
it's unknown. It's unnamed in this episode, but this is Ever, located in Chicago's Fulton Market. And unlike its fictional counterpart, Ever has only been open since 2020 and only has 2 Michelin stars, not 3.
Only 2 Michelin stars,
not 3.
Fucking losers.
We got to make it clear, okay? It's only got the 2.
If you've got 2, you've got 9. It doesn't matter.
You might as well have.
They said they had 3.
Once you've got past 1, it doesn't matter how many you've got because you're serving food that only gods should eat.
That's true. A guy sees him in the kitchen and tells him forks. And this is Garrett, played by Andrew Lopez, who is phenomenal in this episode.
Oh, he's brilliant.
So he goes up and he says forks. And he goes, I know, actually, my name's Richie.
Yeah. He's like, okay, I'm Garrett, back wait staff. You're forks. Change your shirt. It's great. He just walks out. Richie looks up on the wall. He sees every second counts, that'll come back. He's in a locker room.
Not the 1980s game show hosted by Paul Daniels.
Yeah, that's lost on me.
It's fine. It's probably lost on everyone else, to be honest.
So we see him in the locker room changing his shirt. He's putting on a chef's jacket over his beef shirt. He did wear it, which I appreciated. He wore that beef shirt over there.
There's a symbolism there, isn't it? As he sort of folds the chef white over the beef logo. There's a sort of I don't want to say like a rebirth because that comes later, but there's like a sort of an admission that this is not his like domain. Like
It's a comfort blanket. It's his Linus pass. You know, it's this will always be me. No matter what I put over it, I will always still be the beef. And then that changes later on.
Speaking of Coach K and all that stuff, Jordan always wore his Carolina Tar Heels shorts on underneath his Bull shorts for his entire career because it was who he was, and he didn't want to lose that connection. So yeah, I can appreciate that. So yeah, so he's not happy. He meaning Garrett, because he comes back in, he's checking on the job that Richie's doing, and we see other people working now. And the exchange between Garrett and Richie is not awesome. He says, "Chef, are we done with the forks?" He says, "Yes, Chef, almost." Let me ask you. Every stage shined fucking forks in his first day, and he says first week. He says first week. He said first week is forks. If you get lucky, you make it to spoons. Can we chill out with the swearing too, please? It's a great line. How long am I supposed to be here for? A week.
Yep.
All right. You want me to fork? I'll fork. I'm not going to give cousin the satisfaction of coming home early. I can do my time standing on one foot. I can do my time.
He's seeing it as a punishment.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
So his initial, and this is expressed later in the episode, but his initial sort of feeling is that Carmy's just said to me to get out the way for a bit.
Yes.
Well,
We've
the
got a lot of
last
work to
time
do.
the last time we see Richie in the present day is when he was like trying to siphon fucking electricity from
Oh
the
God, with all them,
place
yeah, you
next door.
had the generator on the roof and fax.
Yeah, and
Tiger, yeah.
And Sugar and Sydney are like, just get him out the fucking place.
That's it.
So,
Where
as
can
far
you
as
put him?
Richie-
That was it. Where can you put him where he does the least damage?
Yeah, so as far as Richie's concerned, he is getting punished, but what he doesn't realize is that like it's the same as like with Marcus, where they've sent him to Copenhagen to go to.
It's the same as Tina and Ibrahim
yeah.
getting sent to culinary school.
It's Carmy trying to invest time into and invest in the people who he's got in his team, because
Richie doesn't see that.
Yeah, of course. He doesn't.
Well, for a number of reasons. Yeah, well, and not only that, like, the man doesn't know what he is. He doesn't know who he is.
This is the bit that's one of the bits that made me cry in this. Yeah. When he's just
well,
like,
I guess as well, like if he's doing the forks thing, like Richie probably sees it as it. It's very interesting that we don't see Carmy telling Richie about this.
It is interesting, yeah.
Which makes me think
20 minutes of them screaming at each other.
Which makes me think he's probably just texted him and gone, "I need you to go to this place. We're going to do some training."
Yeah.
And Richie just sees that as like grunt work, and he's probably with the whole forks thing. He's probably thinking they're just going to have me washing fucking dishes or polishing cutlery. That's the equivalent. That's all
it's peeling potatoes, isn't it? It's punishment detail. He's seeing it as.
As is established like later on in this scene, and into the next one as well, is that little detail is so important.
Everything has to be perfect. Yeah,
it's your first impression as a customer. Yes. It's your first impression when you go in.
You can only make them once.
He points out, let me get this straight. He's punishing me by making work at the best restaurant in the world. Yep, he's punishing me. Just matter of fact, yep. He's punishing me for being ancillary. And Garrett says, great. Let me give you some purpose then. Dry those properly. See those streaks? That's bad. And, Richie, not for nothing, is kind of a D-bag here. Thanks, Junior. Where's the boss? Which one? Big boss, Capo, Terry. He said, Chef Terry is always watching. And he holds up a fork and just looks at it and says, fuck you, cousin. So again, Jay, immediate impressions. We've never seen Richie in a spot like this before. This is something completely new for him. He's already miserable. He's not in the environment where they're yelling and screaming and cursing. He's out of his element. What did you think about this when you saw it?
So I thought that I did think he was going to kind of come around to it, but I think I also because he's that stubborn, and he says himself like I'm going to see this out because it's a fuck you to Carmy if I see it out. Because he probably does. Richie in his own head probably thinks Carmy's thinking he's going to quit on day one. And the reality of the situation is that Carmy probably knows that Richie's so stubborn that Richie's going to see it out and then use it as a moment to grow. but he's also not told them that, which is why Richie's so defensive about it. But yeah, I think I was expecting him to kind of dig his heels in a little bit more, not so much like not so much against the whole thing, just more against like he at first he's very like, oh yeah, I've done that fine, and he's trying to just get by, just doing what, like cutting corners as he normally does, and then as soon as he's kind of like told off for it, it's almost like he takes a minute and goes, well, I can do that better.
Yeah,
you do see he instantly like it's like in the next scene when Garrett kind of like loses patience with him and just puts him in his place immediately, and then Richie's like okay, yeah, I can do that, I can fall in line,
I can do respect, I think. Yeah,
right, yeah. Tasty, to Jay's point, is it a matter of, well, I'm going to stay and do this because I'm going to prove to them that I can handle this? In other words, I'm going to stay to sort of, prove to Carmy that he can't just do this to me. But also, once he starts doing it, he just excels at it, right?
Yeah, so I think Richie's no stranger to a shit job, is he? Like, man's done some things. He's cleaned gutters.
If he's got to where he is, he's done.
This is just another one of those. He's just got to grit his teeth and swallow another shit sandwich to spite his cousin, to spite Carmy, because like as he said, he doesn't want to give him the satisfaction of coming home going, I hated that, but he doesn't know. Obviously, we see that it all unfolds as we go along. And I think a lot of this, there's a theme in this episode in particular. It's about, and it starts off with Coach K at the start, like that little speech by Coach K. It's about finding purpose and service, and it's about finding, and it's about understanding that there's not a job. This job isn't beneath you. This isn't like I don't want to jump ahead too much, but like you said about like he thought he'd be washing dishes. There's literally a scene later on where he says, when do I graduate to washing dishes? And he's like, no, our dishwasher's the best in the world. You'd slow them down,
right?
It's like you're not good enough to wash our dishes. Basically, is what he gets told.
How is a dishwasher?
I don't think it's that you're not good enough to wash our dishes. I think it's you're getting good at this because we've already got people who are brilliant at that.
Yeah.
You're
not here. Yeah, but
he
basically said like we have got time to train you to wash dishes the way that you need to keep up with it.
It's going back to the whole brigade from season 1, though.
Yes,
like everyone has their purpose that they play in the team.
I think when he pulls him outside, he says they have a staff of like 200 people.
It takes 200 people to keep,
which is ridiculous,
to keep this place orbiting. Yeah. But Jay, but to that point, and to Carmy's, not discredit, but Carmy never found a place for Richie in that system.
Yeah,
it's fair.
He sent Richie here because he needs Richie to find his place himself, and like that's his big thing, isn't it? Like he just needs to give him a taste, and he just needs to give him, and fair play. So you think the staff are going to be absolute nightmares to him because they think him and they're going to have this real horrible relationship. But there's a moment that comes a bit later which absolutely breaks all his walls down and melts all that away, and we see Richie. He gets it. He almost hit the penny drop in like real time.
I mean, the acting is brilliant because he doesn't say anything, and it is just, you can literally see the light bulb go off above his head.
Yeah,
and it's really, it's not like, oh, it's just very subtle facial cues, and it's beautiful. Oh.
We get that David Byrne song here that you guys mentioned. This is Glass, Concrete, and Stone that's playing as Richie is working. We get a little montage back and forth. We get a glimpse of the bear as the crew is coming in, and things are being put into place, prep's being done. Richie looks hopeless through this montage. Sugar's coming in to check on the progress. There's fine dining shots at Ever. Richie is still on forks, and the bear is coming along, we assume, and suddenly it's apparent that we're getting very close to the opening, and that's when we get across the screen. 4 weeks to open.
4 weeks, yeah.
We're nearly there.
I love the sort of the juxtaposition, like the sort of the similarity they show, like the sort of the straight lines in the kitchen at Ever, and then they show like the straight lines in the kitchen at the bear. Like you can see, obviously, this is Carmy's, like he idolizes this place.
Good
and
point,
this is showing in how he's designed his kitchen.
assumedly, based on what we see later in the episode, that's probably where he cut his teeth.
When he's worked there, yeah, you see
Yeah.
him and somebody else
Yeah.
from episodes past.
Another familiar face.
Yeah. Richie and Garrett are in the kitchen. This is the next spot you guys were talking about, and he's complaining, "Can I wash dishes?" No, we got the best dishwashers in the world. We're just going to slow them down. We've been doing this for 9 hours. I think I know what's clean. He's like, "I'm telling you, that's not clean. That's not clean either. Please do them properly." He's like, "The goddamn forks." Garrett says, "Outside."
I genuinely thought he was going to pop him one.
Yeah.
But that's the breaking point for Garrett then, because it's like, if you can't even
do this,
it's a traditional thing, isn't it? Like, when you start in a new industry, they'll give you something small to do, but they want you to take it seriously, to show that you're a serious person and you're really into it. And if it's in Richie's mind, the way Richie's mindset at the moment is, oh, it's only forks, they're not important. But Garrett's mindset is, but if you can't even be focused, if you can't even be perfectionist on these forks, then how can you do any other element of service?
Yeah. And in my days in management in the grocery business, I would often give the smallest task, because I would always say the words, every crew I ever had knew me for this: the devil's in the details. And like you just said, if you think this isn't important, or if you can't do this, how am I going to trust you with something big that everybody's going to see? Like, you have to be able to nail this one thing.
Well,
we assume that maybe not many people have talked to Richie like this outside the family or outside the restaurant, by the way. I get that impression about this character.
And more importantly, I don't think anyone's ever held him to this standard before.
Accountability.
Well, it was before that. It was him and Mikey palling about, being
slinging sandwiches.
Yeah, like, he's never had to. I'm assuming that, like, Uncle may have tried to instill some sort of pride into him, and that's probably where that's fallen apart as well.
Well, I feel like, because as well, like, because it's a completely outside person, like, Richie's own, in the last, like, however long it is, Richie's been working in the beef. He's had Mikey busting his ass first, then he's had Carmy. Him going into a completely new environment, and Garrett talking to Richie pretty much the way that, like, Carmy's probably tried to talk to him, but because they're so familiar, it's 10 times more volatile. Whereas Garrett's like, no, take this seriously. Like, show some respect for yourself as well as, like, this place and everyone doing
great.
This.
I love that. Yeah.
I think that's why it resonates with Richie so much, because he's like,
when they're outside, he literally does say, doesn't he? Like, you need to respect the restaurant, you need to respect the standards, and you need to respect yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, no one's asking to be here. I don't think anybody even remembers your name. And Richie says, "Nice try. You think I don't know how hard it is hiring people since COVID?" He goes, "We don't have that problem." He's very adamant.
But
that's awesome.
But then also, like, immediately after, calls him Richie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like,
Garrett's
he
not
makes
a monster.
Yeah, he makes him feel like shit, but then he goes, right, let's get back inside then, Richie. It's like,
and then he's like, well, why should we care? Why should we do? And then I thought one of my favorite lines in the episode, when Garrett's like, yeah, every night is like the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. That's a great line. He tells him his a little mini life story. He used to have a drinking problem. He's good now, but it's like this is maybe giving him purpose, so to speak. And
that's later on, isn't it?
That's later on. That's the last day.
Yeah.
The last day.
But he says he likes doing this job because he gets to serve people. He gets to make people's days.
That's true.
Rich says, does he say, you don't have to pretend that you like this? And he goes, no, I do like this.
Yeah.
Like, it's a weird thing, because we've all worked service, not at this level of stuff, but I hated it because people are assholes. The people I worked with and stuff was great, but actual customers are scum.
Yes. Because Richie had mentioned the words drinking the Kool-Aid, and Garrett fires back, "You don't have to drink the Kool-Aid, Richie. I just need you to respect me." That's what you guys were saying before. And he says, "I can do respect." Because I think that's where he hits Richie on a level that, take away all the stupid fork polishing and Super Bowl reference and all that stuff, which Richie's rolling his eyes at, right? Pull it down to the respect thing. And that's something a guy like Richie can, you know what? I get that part. Fine. Yeah.
You're a man. I'm a man.
Because that's what Richie's been sort of flailing at for the last season and a half, is he hasn't got respect. He's lost that.
Yeah.
in his life, from all facets of his life. He doesn't have it in his personal life. He doesn't have it in his professional life.
And he gets treated like, if you look at the way he's treated in the beef in season 1, especially by like Sydney and Carmy, he's treated almost as like an annoyance, like as in he's a pain in the fucking arse, and he's just getting in our way. Yeah,
because he can't do it properly. He doesn't know the system. He doesn't know the way things are done. He doesn't,
and refuses to learn this. When they got the order thing, he refused to learn that. The new touchscreen, refused to learn that.
Also, they never ever treat him with mutual respect. So why is he going to
two-way street?
Yeah, but neither of them are willing to take the first step down the road.
That's like, the
like
they're locked in this, like him and Carmy in particular are locked in this like Cold War where neither of them wants to be the first one to say, all right, okay, maybe I need to just give you a bit of slack here. Maybe I need to give you like
And I think that's partly why Richie's like so sort of like responsive to that, is because that's all he really wants. He wants to be treated as an equal. And
I think that's how Gary hits him, because he, like you say, Tommy says, respect me, but respect yourself as well.
Yes.
Like literally, he's in a completely foreign environment for Richie. Like you can see he's uncomfortable. He's deeply out of his comfort zone. And the second that he's treated with that like little bit of like decency to a degree, he's then like, okay, yeah, I can do that. Yeah. And he stops being a dickhead, and it's looking back at like season 1 and the way he was spoken to, as I say, mainly by Carmy and Sydney, but obviously like there was other people who were talking to him like he was a bit of a dickhead. But no wonder he's such an abrasive arsehole.
In a lesser show, Richie's character would be physical comic relief for the entirety of the show. He'd never grow. He'd never get any better. He'd go to he'd be in a situation where he'd be tripping over and dropping 300-pound steak dishes on the floor, and
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Good call. And plus, the look on his face is not what I personally expected when this happens. He doesn't look like he's been dressed down. I mean, he looks like someone is level with him, and that matters to him. Don't treat me like a child. Talk to me like a person, and just be honest. And Gary did that.
He's thinking about it, man.
He is thinking about it. Good call. Yeah. We do. We go to a big table meeting. I swear to God, I got the words military and precise and operation written down many times through my notes, because this feels like this is the CIA, like a freaking, you know what I mean? It's crazy. And they're going over who's going to be dining that night. They mentioned Bo Burnham, which I thought was an odd little reference to drop in there. But they also mentioned Tim and Jilly Perry, Elmhurst High School teachers. And according to her Instagram, it's been her dream to dine at a 3-star restaurant. And the guy says, and they have been, quote, saving up for this. I want to go above and beyond tonight. Every supplement and caviar, please. A tour of the kitchen, a champagne tour in the gallery as well. And guys, we're not going to let these people spend $1. Do not drop a check. I want to blow their fucking minds. And I'm like, I like this guy already.
That's such a beautiful little scene, isn't it? It's like, and it encapsulates everything that was just said outside. It's like, yeah, this is the power that they have here to make it so special for these people. Like this is the environment. This is what they can do. And Richie this isn't even like in his universe of possibility.
Yeah. And I love they showed a shot of his face, because in my head, you know how we always write a different internal story than what we're watching. But in my head, I'm thinking when that was told, like Richie he's been talked to about forks and polishing and Super Bowl references. But then this guy's going out of his way to give these people a free check, which is probably would have cost him $300, maybe more.
Well, and the rest of it's caviar and everything. And...
Exactly. And like in my head, Richie's hearing that going, all right, maybe there's something to this after all. Like, yes, they're hoity-toity, but they're also maybe doing it for the right reasons. They truly want to build something here and build a connection. And
look back to Richie from season 1. Richie from season 1 would chase a guy down the street if he stiffed him on 50 cents. You know what I
mean? Yes.
If he had paid for his soda, he'd be chasing that guy out the door. Whereas,
well, look how annoyed he is in season 1 that Sydney gives the guys who are like loitering outside the sandwiches because they're arguing.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like he's so angry about that because he didn't think of it, and 2, he was handling it.
And he's been in survival mode for so long, man. Like to just see. I mean, I'm not saying that this is But it's but the key thing is here. It's not Bo Burnham who gets the free meal. It's not the district attorney who gets the free meal or the mayor. It's these are two teachers who are probably never going to come here again. This is their one shot.
Good call. Yeah.
And we're going to use this ability we have to change someone's life, because they probably, like you say, they probably save for a year to come to this meal.
It's that great thing though of they'll go and tell everyone we went there and they wouldn't let us pay for a thing and it was beautiful and it was mind blowing and it's all good positivity as well.
Yes,
but also you are creating. I think it's later on. She says like we have the ability to make someone's night every night.
I mean, I'm sure Bo Burnham's a lovely fella, but he's not going to tell 1 million people if he gets a free meal at a fancy restaurant, is he?
No, he's expect it, to be honest. But it's altruism. That's the word. Yes.
The manager says, last thing. I love this. It's all straight-faced.
This fucking smudge.
Last thing, still, no one is owning up to the smudge. I want to clarify that it's not so much the smudge, but rather the fact that no one is taking responsibility for the smudge. We're not children. It's okay to make mistakes. We can smudge things, but we need to own up to them. I can't even do it without laughing. With immediacy, integrity, and honesty. Does anyone want to talk anymore about the smudge?
And it cuts around everyone, and everyone's like, nope, not making eye contact.
The chef comes out to address a couple more menu updates. Per Chef Terry, the duck roulade will now be served, blah, 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 with a whatever.
And instead of Jerry.
Yes, and he turns to the... I got all that, but I wanted to get back to him looking at the manager going, did you talk about the smudge? Only a lot. I know this sounds ridiculous.
I've said the word smudge 20 times in the past 2 days.
But we need to reset the plate with the smudge because the persimmon glaze was smudged, which fucked the set because we had to take it to a 4-top, which meant we had to match the other 3 plates to the smudge plate, which cost us seconds. The manager says 47 seconds. 47 seconds! Now, if you cost us that kind of time, you sure as shit better own up to it because we sure as shit aren't going to pay for it. Now get back to work. And then he goes, fuck you, Garrett. Garrett says,
fuck me, chef.
Yeah, chef. Why'd you single out Garrett?
I think this is one of the moments where it starts to click for Richie because he sees Garrett, who's someone who like he maybe was a bit intimidated by and a bit sort of like about to sort of not butt heads with, but he wasn't quite seeing eye to eye with him. And then he sees a chef just like Carmy talk down to somebody else just like him, and I think it gives him a bit of common ground, a little bit. It sort of puts him on that sort of that wavelength.
I think as well they probably know it's Richie. They all probably know it's Richie, but it was on Garrett's watch.
No, Richie's not allowed to touch plates.
Yeah, Richie hasn't said
no. The smudge, didn't he say a smudge on?
No, they smudged. So what happened was I think someone picked up a
as they were carrying the plates out.
They smudged a glaze on the plate.
Yeah.
So the plate wasn't.
Right.
No, it's not. No, Richie would.
Oh,
Richie's only allowed to touch that plate of pizza.
I thought it was a smudge on like the cutlery or something.
No. It was someone smudged a plate, picking it up, and they smudged like one of like the little swirly glazes they put on the plate, so it's not like little micro dots or something.
And in that case, based on what we know from season 1, I bet you was that fucking chef. Bet you his fucking sleeve or something just brushed it.
Probably.
It's like Carmy sticking the cigarettes on the oven.
Good callback. And Tacey, to your point, like common ground, yes. But like, even though there's common ground, the difference between these two guys is Garrett knows his role and he accepts it and he excels at it. Right? And
even when he gets stressed down, he doesn't bite back. He just takes it. So
it's that thing of when you've worked in kitchens and like you'll fucking yell at people to get stuff done, but you don't mean it. It's just do your fucking job. I need what you need to give me so I can finish my job. You're holding me up, you prick.
I need what.
And then afterwards, you'll sit and have a beer with them, and you're like, I didn't mean any of that. Sorry, but just be better. Like,
yeah.
But the next
thought it was just a little bit of, and you can fuck off today. He probably just does that every day to someone, just to keep him on their toes.
Probably Garrett most days.
Probably Garrett, yeah. The next scene is the bit where Tiff calls him, and I didn't want to talk this to death, but like I wanted to get thoughts on this. Like Richie is still, and I was going to say Richie's going out of his way to be sweet. Richie loves this girl. I don't think that's ever changed. Like
Richie's got his Hail Mary in the. This is his like big gesture. It's like I got these Taylor Swift tickets.
I think Richie thinks he's still got a chance of winning her back as well.
Absolutely.
This is his last chance. This is his last throw of the dice. He's like, I'm gonna take it to the Taylor Swift concert. Me, my daughter, we're gonna be there like a family together all over again. It's gonna be fantastic. And then he just runs into a brick wall.
Yeah.
Like Wile E.
Where
Coyote.
he literally gets run over by a train.
Yeah. He runs into a tunnel painted on the side of a cliff.
Yeah, she admits
that a roadrunner has just run perfectly down.
Of course, prick roadrunner. Yeah, she finally admits that Frank proposed to her, and Buddy, she didn't want to say it. She's really him hawing, and when he says, "And what did you say?" I thought, "Oh, you're killing me here."
And you know what? It's such a beautiful thread between the scene between the two of them in the last episode where they were, and the scene where they are now. It's still got that same tenderness. They're almost afraid. The two of them are almost afraid to talk about it because it's so final now. Like this dissolution of the relationship, because like Richie's afraid to ask. Richie's almost afraid to ask if she's the question because he doesn't want to know the answer, and she's almost afraid to say it out loud because it's like it's admitting that it's over. And
that's the death knell of it.
Yeah, it almost gave the like impression to me as well, because obviously he's like, oh yeah, like I fucked up and stuff like that, but it almost feels as though because of Richie trying to sort of like basically from trying to like just get out of like the beef, they've kind of grown apart, because he says in Fishes like about how I don't want to be there all the time because I'm not going to be able to see the baby, I'm not going to be able to see her. And it's almost like because Richie's been trying so hard to like just work hard for them and get out of there, almost like they have just drifted apart, and that's like been the first.
You don't know the reason why they split up. Like it's not been made clear.
He alludes that he fucks up a lot.
Yeah, I mean it's Richie. Come on,
it's Richie. But also, it wouldn't surprise me if, as I say, because he's putting the hours in the beef, like they've just started to drift apart because they're not seeing each other that much.
But that 90-second like little stretch from when she tells him that Frank proposed to when he asks, "What did you say?" Like that. Oh, Ebon must back. My God, that acting is next level. Like he is.
Great.
Yeah.
He sells like in that one scene. There's hope. There's like hope. There's almost desperation. There's longing. There's grief, and then I think finally towards the end there's acceptance, like a little bit of acceptance creeping in, and it's just like he just goes through the entire range of emotion, but so subtly and so beautifully.
So beautifully done.
Yeah.
And at the end, she just says, "I love you," and he goes, "Yeah, I love you too." And it's
Buddy, when she tells
and then a train literally runs over his heart.
Yeah.
When she tells him, she regrets saying it. I don't know that she doesn't feel that way, but like you can see, oh, why'd I say that? You can tell.
She looks heartbroken that she's saying it as much as Richie's heartbroken to hear it.
Yeah.
As if like Ben said, like this is like the final sort of like this is the end. Like
that's it.
Richie in his head has thought, I'm gonna be able to win it back. I'm gonna be like the husband and the father that I've always wanted to be, and that moment, no, actually you're not. And it's devastating.
It is devastating. He goes back in and the dash is on to prepare the dishes. He overhears Garrett telling the couple that are there they will not be charged, and they're floored, which was a very cool moment. There's a great angled shot of that train. I think Tacey called this out several episodes back that we don't really call it out enough. Like the camera work looked like a Batman movie going the way they tilted the camera at that subway or that train. It was very cool. Nice camera work. Richie's in his car smoking. When we go the next day, he wakes up. It's 5:32. It's 5:38 in the beginning. Now it's 5:32. It'll be something else later. And at the beginning of the episode, it was, like I said, 5:38. He's up. He's ready. I don't know if you guys caught this, but I'm hearing things when there's no one screaming and cursing, I can absorb a little bit more. The music was different. It was upbeat, determined, had momentum. And I'm like, are they telling me he's going to figure this out? Well, all right. Because, the music's teasing, is he going to respond? Is he going to fold? He goes in the kitchen and Garrett tells him he's trailing today. He's not on forks, and he's ecstatic. He's so happy. And it reminded me of the Shaun of the Dead cuts where it's the quick one cut to another. And that's for some reason what it put me in the mind of.
Put it.
Yeah, but he's putting on a suit and he says it feels like armor, and Garrett tells him that's the point.
But See, this is the thing. I don't reckon he's got his beef t-shirt on under that suit.
Nah.
This is the rebirth. This is the phoenix from the ashes. We've got new Richie now, making this look good.
But it comes from within. It comes from him dressing. He gets confidence from how he's dressed. And
That's it.
He doesn't look like shit anymore. So he doesn't.
This is the thing. Well, you notice, I think it's the morning after this, he puts a jacket on as he leaves. He just came out in like a sweatshirt and stuff the day previous, where he's got his leather jacket on and he's made a bit of an effort.
Oh, shout out this morning! I think this morning when he wakes up, he's wearing
whichever one it is.
He slept in a Chicago Bulls top, like a sweatshirt.
Well done.
Little Bulls, because he had a White Sox jacket on the first day. So he's a very. Like Richie doesn't own a lot of t-shirts that aren't sports or bar related. I don't think.
He's also bizarrely got a poster for White Squall, which is a film no one remembers.
It's Ridley Scott. He's a Ridley Scott.
I know he's a Ridley Scott fan.
Yeah. Yes, he's got the alien one above the bed as well.
I'm like, there's better Ridley Scott films than White Squall.
He's also got a novelization of Black Rain in his apartment as well.
Ooh. Wow. Good.
One of those ones with pictures of the film stills in the middle of it. That'd be good.
Garrett starts getting the lay of the land, how to stack reservations, how to communicate without speaking to each other. They're passing notes, and you're like, the F is this?
Boink Studios YouTube is the home of Bear Mode, a podcast review of The Bear, Tom Clark's Main Event, Tom Clark's 6M podcast, and Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. Subscribe to the channel for archives that date back to 2014, with new content being uploaded every week. And check out boinkstudios.com for links to every podcast platform, social media, special announcements, and a lot more. Bookmark the site today.
But then when you see it in action, you're like, this is like a spy movie. I got the word spy movie written down a bunch too. This is like spy movie. It's great.
The sort of the most, not confusing, but the most sort of, Richie just gets this.
Yes.
It makes sense to him now.
This is really complicated, and he just clicks with it straight away.
It's a good call. Very, very quick. In the kitchen, he's over the shoulder of Sarah Ramos as Jessica. She is great, by the way. She's a highlight of this episode and what is already great. She tells him, what she tells him is even wilder. And he's like, what do all these different colors mean? She's like, orange is dietary restriction, yellow is out of town, green is VIP, blue means kitchen tour. What about those notes? Table likes to eat faster as we speed up. And so we speed up their tickets. 23 likes it slower, so we add an extra amuse not to back up the kitchen. 22 doesn't like people to speak to them. How you know all that? Know what? About the people eating. We have a designated staff member that researches each guest. I want that job. That'd be fun.
That's just creepy, isn't it?
So
is this what he says? I think I can see the pattern.
Yeah, but this is Richie's dream job. This is what he was doing in the first season when this is him standing at the counter
reading people.
Busting balls, but in a different way.
Yeah, but he remembers each customer as they come in.
Yeah, he knows everyone's business, doesn't he? He wants to know everyone's business. He wants to be
the
guy who's
calling
everyone out.
Version of it.
Yeah, it's the high-end version of the man with the golden cock.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says wiretap those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
This is how Richie in his mind, this is how he sees him. He's like, this is this is what I can do in the Bear. This could be me.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that's great. He says, what's that ticking? She says, wait list. The minute somebody no shows or cancels, we pull somebody up. How'd they get here that fast? We'll send a car. He goes, gangster.
I mean, it really is, isn't it? It really is.
I mean, imagine though, you were just sitting down and then they phoned you up. Yeah, we can get you in. The car will be 10 minutes. Huh?
Imagine you've just spent all day making tea and you put it down on the table and your phone goes, you've got a slot tonight. That tea is going straight in the bin.
Oh, no kidding.
You're off the list, yeah.
And
that's my mother's lasagna. I don't care, love. You know.
He says, how do you do this all day? And she goes, I need you to stand in that corner and get the fuck out of my way for 1 minute. Like, she's just very matter of fact. And hey, by the way, someone else who has spoken to him like an adult but not screamed, and he just stands back. You don't see an expression. You don't see him get insulted or pissed off.
He's wide-eyed. He's like, this is cool as fuck.
Because he can see she's trying to work.
Yeah, she's doing her job. But coolly and calmly and not throwing stuff at each other.
But also, I think as well, it's interesting that they're not they're not acting like he's an annoyance. They're just like, give me a minute.
And I'll explain everything.
And I'll explain everything.
It's not fuck off out the kitchen. It's just stand there for 1 second while I
like,
do this.
I don't think Richie realizes, but they all know he's there to learn. They know he's there to grow. They know he's there to...
And they're interested in his development.
Yeah, they want him to do well because, as we find out later, like, Carmy wants him to do well.
Yeah.
She says...
Carmy's just shock horror, never communicated that well to Richie.
Never.
I mean, to be fair, based on the way they are, Richie would probably think he's up to something, which he does.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing too, because I've been in situations where I'm friends, but friends are friends and work is work. And it's very hard sometimes to, in your brain, separate, this is my buddy. All right, shut the F up. We got work to do. It can be very hard to do that. So like Richie thinks Carmy's looking at him like he's a piece of crap. And I'm like, nah, you're looking at him like he's a piece of crap. To be fair, he's not doing that to you, as we find out later. You know, like Carm doesn't think he's worthless. But I think when he looks at Carm, even though he loves him like a brother, there's moments where he's like, he's full of crap or whatever. And I'm like, he's not though. Like he's got your best interest at heart, whether you know it or not.
If they sat down for 10 minutes and just literally told each other what they think of each other, like this would all have been solved, but they're men.
They are men.
And also, if you said anything like that to Richie, he would call you a slur, and that would be the end of it, wouldn't it?
I'd be intrigued to see, like, if obviously, like, Richie's like probably aware that Tina and Ibrahim have been sent to the culinary school, and Marcus has been sent to Copenhagen.
Yeah, he's been there for all of it. Him and Tina are tight.
Like, I'd be intrigued to see if like Richie's like almost a bit up until this point was like, when are they going to send me to do something like that?
Why are they getting rewarded and why am I getting punished?
I think more defined. It's like I think Richie's attitude be more like, "Nah, they're not going to change me. They're not going to get me."
But then maybe
they're not going to send me to a insert homophobic slur here cooking school. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe in his head he thinks I don't need to do that. They've already got me like great at what I do, and they can just have me doing like the other stuff around here. So again, that's probably why he sees getting told he's doing this as a bit of a punishment.
She says, every night you make somebody's day. He goes, what? She goes, you asked me how I can do this. That's how I can do this. And that's when he says, I think I see the pattern. She goes, I'm very happy to hear that. But she's not even condescending. She's serious.
No.
Which is cool.
I just genuinely thought, does he think he's in the Matrix now, Richie?
Right.
But again, there's another moment, like there's another moment that comes across when she says that, like every night I get to make somebody's day. That's how I can do this, and something clicks in him. Then it's like it's just building in these like sort of, and it happens a few times this episode. It builds in this sort of new idea that you can derive. Again, I think this is something that's been almost beaten out of Richie over the last like couple of years with what's happened in his personal life, his professional life. He's forgotten that you can derive joy by giving other people joy. Like he's
also giving him purpose.
Well, then look at earlier in the episode when he tells Tiff that he's got the Taylor Swift tickets, and like how happy she is about it, and then he's like glowing, like
and then it blows up in his face.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like he clearly he's
got that in him.
Yeah, he gets some joy out of like making people happy. He just
but he wants
is
to
Richie, and he's
that was a loaded
yeah, that wasn't a selfless gift.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. She meaning Jessica is getting orders out as precisely as a head surgeon commanding a team in an operating room. She's killing it. She calls for hands, and Richie immediately volunteers hands. But she wants Garrett.
Now he wants to be part of it.
Yes. She wants Garrett and tells Richie to follow him. He does, as Garrett presents hibiscus tea. This is one of the most unnecessarily uppity things. Uppity is a poor choice of words, but you guys know what I mean.
This made me want to kill someone.
Dude.
So it is, to quote Garrett, hibiscus tea with small bites and a hibiscus cloud.
A cloud.
Which
apparently just reminded me of that video of the raccoon.
In reviewing this show, one food writer described it as the definition of style over substance, since the most impressive part of the dish is dissolved before the customer's eyes.
No kidding.
Just like that raccoon washing the cotton candy in the river, and it disappears, and he's just like, "Where's it gone?" makes me cry.
He dissolves the cotton.
when he dissolves it, Richie goes, "Fucking hell!" behind it. Language.
Garrett's like, language, and the woman's like, took the words right out of my mouth. Like she was all with it, you know.
I love, and as well, there's this little thread that goes throughout these next few scenes where Richie's actually really in tune with, like, you think like Richie would hate these people, like, because they're posh and they're pretentious. And they're in this incredibly fancy, expensive restaurant. But there's 2 or 3 scenes where Richie's just on their level and he's on their wavelength and he's thinking and he's saying what they're thinking.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that just because they're in a posh restaurant stuff, it could be that they've saved up for ages to come here or whatever. People are just people. And at that level of high fine dining, you can't really be pricks of serving staff because they'll just boot you out. Like,
the Richie of 3 or 4 days ago would think these people were intolerable.
Oh, we would have, called them a bunch of snobs.
But I also think though, like, he's never been in this world. Like, he knows all his like exposure to it is, oh, Carmy was too good to work in Mikey's restaurant. He went off and did his own thing, and now he's come back and he's trying to change everything.
And there's almost that entrenched, like, so. And again, this is like the key. So, like, to Carmy, Richie's this Luddite who's never like bettered himself, who's never learned anything, who's like wants to stay in this rut forever. And to Richie, Carmy is just this little posh wannabe who flew off because he couldn't hack the real world to go and work in some fancy made up restaurant where all the food is clouds and it's not real. And you know. Yeah,
but I think when he actually like sees it firsthand, and he's actually
and he sees it from the ground up. He sees it from from the bottom of the kitchen all the way up to the hedge. He talks to the CDC later on in the episode on a level basis.
Yeah, he literally goes on a journey with them, with one of the dishes that he takes out later on, and I think that's why he's so like receptive to it, because it's like, well, I get it. I can see why it's so important and why he
basically got Carmy's entire like training experience in like a week.
Yeah.
And he's walked that mile in Carmy's shoes now, and he's seen like what he's done.
It's interesting when he's a little later on when he's having the conversation with Garrett, and he asks Garrett, oh, so are you going to be a chef? And he's like, no, I've got no interest in cooking. I just like doing this bit. Yeah, and I think that's when he has that real. I don't have to like, because
it's a real job. This is a real job.
The whole thing with the beef was, well, Richie can't cook. He doesn't do any of that. He just like throws fries on every now and again and gives people sandwiches.
Yeah, and just hangs around and screams at people like
otherwise, customers. Otherwise, he's just getting in the way. Whereas this, it's like, well, he gets to be like the face that brings the food to the table. He gets to, which is what he wants. He wants to be the big I am. He wants to be the presence, and he gets to do that.
But in a more controlled way.
Yeah, but in a way that's much more valuable and much more useful.
Yeah. One of the someone hands him a note, and he goes into the kitchen, comes straight up on Jessica hardcore and says, "Chef!" And she's like, relax.
But he's giddy. He's so happy that he's part of this world now.
Yeah,
and it's beautiful to see it.
Because they gave him the notes.
Yeah.
You know what I took from that was maybe for a split second he was reminded, oh, normal people don't do that to each other. I can just go, chef. Where in the beef, they're screaming it.
I just thought he was giddy because someone handed him a note. And he's like, I'm on board.
I thought it felt like he was more like excited because he was part of the team.
Yeah, he's part of the crew now. Like he's this is his initiation. This is his big moment.
Yeah,
you know.
He mentions the guest on 9. Emily overheard her tell her family that she was bummed. She was leaving Chicago without getting a chance to try a deep dish. She goes, "Got it, thank you." And she goes, "Slow down, 8 and 9. Surprise on 9." And they all say, "Chef." And he goes, "What's a surprise?" She goes, "Take a wild guess." He goes, You're gonna make him a deep dish." She goes, "Nope." And then we see Richie running down the sidewalk in a suit, looking like John Wick. You know what I mean? In that suit, running to get a pizza, and he gets it from this pizza place. What a great moment!
So he gets it from Pequod's. So there's some controversy here.
I was furious at this because looking at that pizza, I was cut
all
the best bit off.
So we'll go through this now. So Pequod's is a famous Chicago deep dish pizza.
Mm-hmm.
It is distinct from regular or traditional Chicago deep dish in that they don't put the sauce on the top; they put the cheese on the top, and the sauce is underneath. It's also famous because they are famous for having they have like caramelized mozzarella on the crust because it's cooked in a cast iron pan. However, the chef, as we see in this next scene, cuts a middle bit out of the pizza so you don't get the crust. Yeah.
So you've just got wet pizza, garbage. I went to a place that did deep dish pizza at the weekend. It's fine. I prefer regular pizza.
I had a slice of deep dish when me and Tasty went for pizza at the weekend.
You did, and it looked very nice to be fair.
It was
fine.
Good.
I just prefer like Italian style pizza. It's just
but yeah, so Pequod's is regarded as one of the better, like more storied.
That crust looked banging.
Yeah.
When the chef's, yeah, he did. Oh my God. When the chef's taking it apart, he mentions micro basil. Richie goes, micro basil, fuck yes. And Carrot's like, language. You know, when the dish is done, Richie wants to be the one to take it to the table. Which
can I take it? Can I take it? He's like a little kid. It's beautiful. Well, and then he does the sneaking it behind his back.
Oh, he's got skills, man.
Man has got skills.
Jay, did you hold your breath when he did the behind the back thinking, oh God?
So fucking anxious when he walked out of that place.
Yes.
I thought he was going to drop it when he put it behind his back. Even when he was at the table, I was like, oh God, he's doing too much.
He's going to high five someone and forget he's got a tray in his hand.
No, when he was like laughing and joking, I was like, oh shit, Richie, you're doing too much. You're doing too much.
Right. Don't chest bump anybody, for God's sake.
They're all really happy with him when he goes back in.
So Richie puts that plate down on the table, and you see everyone loses their mind, and you see Richie the dad, like you see his.
Oh, it's great.
You see him as like, this is Richie who like loves his kids, who wants to do nice things for his kids, he wants to do nice things for people. Like this is Richie getting a real buzz off just blowing someone's mind.
Yeah.
This is the look that you give your kids on Christmas Day when they're opening their presents.
Because I know you guys.
He also chats so much to Adam.
Yes.
But they're loving it.
Yeah, because everyone else there is like, yes, and that would be the love and all that stuff. And he's just like, do you want some more rum and coke? Come on, I'll get you some Bacardi.
Do you want a couple of cheeky Bacardis? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when he walks up, he's like, look alive, team, almost there. Just another 7 courses. That's great. Yeah, it's and she's like, oh my God, no way did you guys hear me say that. And then she says, you're wonderful. And stop it. You're wonderful. You guys good on drinks? And that's when he gives in line about the and in my notes, I have, God damn, if Richie isn't a natural, holy shit.
He is. He's always been good with people, but not on a controlled, monitored level.
Well, he says it to Cicero in Fishes, doesn't he? He says, I'm good with people.
Yes.
Yeah. And he is good with people.
When Cicero's asking, when he asks Cicero for a job, and he's like, what can you do? And he's like, well, I'm good with people.
Yeah. And now he understands that this is his purpose. This is his calling. All that time he's been floundering around wondering what he can do to make the bear work.
Yeah. Bam! He thought he had no transferable skills. It turns out if you can ball bust with Golden Cockman, you can serve.
You can run down to a pizza shop and bring pizza back for people.
Yeah,
It's the realization of him coming back in and going, this is me now.
I just want to put a quick disclaimer here. It might seem that I'm obsessed with the man with the golden cock. I'm not. It's just literally the only part of that scene I can remember.
Because it's the best thing he says. It's just the way he says it as he comes in.
It is.
It's pretty easy to get obsessed over a reference like that. I understand.
It does feel like I brought it up quite a lot.
You have, but also I love it. It's one of my favorite bits.
Just a huge fan of Gold member.
Yeah. I love Gold.
After service, they're in the kitchen and Richie has tasted some sauces. Even this, you're on pins and needles going, oh, is he doing too much? Is he doing too much? And they love him. Like he's fine. Even at one point he gets the sauce right and Garrett's like, that's my boy right there. And I'm like, what is happening? This is great.
And yeah, man's nailing it. And I thought Richie had a gutter palate.
He does smoke like a chimney.
He does smoke like a chimney. He shouldn't have a good palate.
That's true. Well, yeah, wow.
He drinks light beer and like cheap whiskey. And he smokes cheap cigarettes. And he probably 90% of his meals come out the microwave.
We do see him in a moment here reading a book called Unreasonable Hospitality: The Remarkable Power of Giving People More Than They Expect by Will Guidara, which we're going into the Coach Beard territory of noting books that people are reading here. But they're quizzing him on restaurant trivia, and he's getting better. And in my notes in all caps, I've got no way is all this happening. It feels like a dream sequence to a point. Like,
what year did it open? What year did it get its 3 stars? Trick question. Same year.
Same year. Then we see him in his car blasting Taylor Swift. I've seen this online described as the best moment of the entire series, of him driving his car with that song blasting. It's tremendous.
It's the smiling and then drive, fucker.
Yeah.
Like, he's still got road rage, but he's having like it's all slotted into place. It's that realization that I can do something. I can do something well.
He's found purpose.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is, he still thinks this is a punishment from Carmy, and he somehow
he just thinks he's
won
turned
the
it around.
game.
Yeah, he's just like, he's turned this around, and he's got something out of this.
Did this hit anybody emotionally? Because it hit me for some reason.
Oh
yeah,
it really did.
Yeah, this is the first time we've ever seen him truly happy.
Yes.
Yeah. And then he does his little bullet jump in the car as well.
Yes. So good. The next morning, he's up at 5:29. Turns off the alarm at 5:30. He
gets up before the alarm goes off.
Yes, for sure.
Pervert.
He's talking to Garrett, and he's like, "Let me ask you, am I the oldest Stodge that's ever stodged? Here?" He goes, "I don't know, dude. Probably." He goes, "How old are you?" That's an HR violation. You're not supposed to ask. He goes, "Fuck off, Garrett. How old are you?" He's like, "I'm 30, dude." And you're like a chef? He's like, "What?" He's like, "You have to cook. You like to row the pots and pans." Like, "No, I don't like to cook." And that's when he gives the story about at one point he had a drinking problem, but he got better. He's good and sober. But, I'm happy and I'm grateful. And through that experience, I learned about acts of service. And I just like being able to serve other people now. And Garrett says that, I used to work for this guy who used to say that taking care of people at the highest level was like working at a hospital. And, it was like, and he's like, "Oh, hold on, that's a little bit too much." He goes, "I'm just saying, I think that's why restaurants and hospitals use the same word, hospitality." And that clicks with Richie, who says, "Yeah, no shit, hospitality." Like it clicks for him.
That man's got a point.
Yeah. He says, "I wanted to say thanks for a fun week, man. It was dope." He goes, "Thank you, my man." I love he's talking like that to Richie. I don't know why. He says, "It was fun." He goes, "We have a new stars coming tomorrow morning, and I think we're all really going to miss you here." And he goes, "Oh, fuck, man, I'm just getting the hang of it." And that's when he mentions, he's him hawing around, if the situation is like you need something opens up. He's like, "Richie, that'd be awesome, but that's not my call." And you know what? In my notes, I'm like, get out. Get a job as soon as possible. Like, that might be your family in the other restaurant. You should be here. Like, as a viewer, I'm like, I want you here. I want this Richie.
So it's interesting, isn't it? Because like in the previous episode, you have him asking Cicero for a job and getting sort of like messed around a bit, and then we can only assume based on the fact that he's working in the beef that didn't go the way he wanted it to, and then him again getting rejected by that place, not like directly, but because it's like, well, it's not our call. And I think the thing is that Richie doesn't realize that we, the viewer, realizes it's Carmy's call. It's not Richie's call.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It's not. It's not the restaurant. Terry's call.
Yeah.
It's Carmy's call. And the whole point of Richie being there, which Richie still hasn't figured out yet, is that no, we want you to train there because we want you to become like one of our prized assets in that team.
Yeah,
Petty's not dropped on that one though, that has it.
No, but like literally, as like a knock-on effect of that, he then goes almost like regresses back to like bitter old Richie.
Yeah, because he gets in his car and he calls Carmy, who tells him they failed another fire suppression test. They failed one more. It's bad. As this is happening, Fack is trying to kill himself with live wires.
Fack is just continually electrocuting himself. Yeah.
Why are they not shut the breaker off?
That wall sounded like a fucking taser.
Right? He's like, ah! He just keeps getting shocked. And Richie tells him, "I know you sent me away to get rid of me." And I got to be honest with you, when this moment happened, I thought, it kind of feels like that's not what you're feeling. It feels like you're trying to sabotage something, like you were just told we can't give you a job.
Been rejected, so you're lashing out.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I also do think as well, like almost as if Richie's trying to either give Carmy shit because that's all he knows, and as if so he can like rub Carmy's nose in it and go, but I've actually thrived in this environment. As if he's the better man because of it, even though that's exactly what Carmy wanted him to do.
Well, there's a bit, isn't there, where Carmy's like, "What do you want?" and he's like, "Nothing. I'm good."
Yeah. And then when Richie's like mentions that Carmy's then actually taking an interest in it, and he's trying to talk to Richie like an adult, and he's got trying to fucking electrocute himself, and he keeps shouting fuck. And then Richie just ends up losing his temper and going, forget about it.
Forget about it.
But he actually says, you sent me here because you thought I was going to make a fool of myself, or make me feel stupid, and it didn't work.
The next day, his alarm goes off at 6:36, and he's dragging. He's looking at himself in the mirror, and he doesn't like what he sees. He's upset. It's not good. He's cleaning up his place a bit, which is a good sign, but then he goes to leave. It's his last day at the restaurant, and Jess offers for him to shadow her as she goes over staff reviews. He politely declines, and she does double take over his shoulder and says, "We loved having you. Thanks for everything."
I think there's a little, what could have been like, in a different, if he was in a different point in his life, in a different sort of point in his grief about his relationship with Tiff, like that, there could have been a little something there maybe.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that felt that. For a second, I thought a woman doesn't stop walking and look back. Okay,
when she looks back, it is very much like almost as if as well. Like when she looks back, it's like this could be the last time I see him.
Exactly. Yeah.
She says something like, "Don't be a stranger," didn't she, or something like that?
I think it's a bit later on, but yeah. It is one of those things where you think, you're in there, Richie. You should have gone.
But he can't.
I know.
It's too soon, isn't it? It's like.
But also,
again, though,
she's
like
a young lady. She's got no interest in him. That's his way of thinking it as well.
Oh, that's
Again, though, like even the fact that like he's almost like he's depressed about it because he's literally gone there and just instantly fit in with everyone, and he's been what he's trying to be in the Bear, where he's trying to kind of be like Mikey was. He's literally gone in there and done that. Like he ate his humble pie. He got sort of told to like respect what he's doing, and then he got accepted by that team, and he's not had that in the other place. So why would he want to go back?
And now it's in his mind, it's back to the Bear where he doesn't quite fit anywhere, and he doesn't really have a purpose, and he doesn't really know what he's going to do.
And he has to put on the show. He has to be Richie. He has to puff his chest out, and he has to.
Whereas, when he like obviously gets back and he speaks to Carmy, he's probably going to realize, well, you've just learned all this really good stuff that's going to help us. Dan, you told me you didn't know what your purpose was. I've sent you somewhere to find it, and now you have.
I like when he goes down the hall and he sees that pic of Carmy and Luca. Where did we leave that on that episode? Did we flat out say that it was Carmy Luca was talking about? I can't remember.
He very heavily alluded to it.
Yeah,
I think from what we can piece together, when Luca said about like there was another chef going to him and another chef competed in the kitchen, we can maybe assume that it was this kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love how they just threw that in there to tie back as an Easter egg and didn't dwell on it. That's pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
they don't. A lesser show would go in. They'd show you the flashback?
He'd be like, "Hey, look, it's those two." Yeah.
Remember this?
Remember when? They used to compete all the time. You know.
Yeah. Even then, though, Richie looks at it and just rolls his fucking eyes because he sees Carmy.
Did you not see the other picture before it?
No.
Joel McHale.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. You only see it for like a split second. But
set fire to that picture.
So whether it's at the same time, whether it was this kitchen he was screaming at him in, like,
did all the trauma just happen in this one kitchen? What
We
did Olivia Colman do to these people?
Right, right.
To walk around burning microsage.
Yeah, we meet Olivia Colman here playing Chef Terry, who's peeling mushrooms. She shows him how to do it very meticulously. They have something in common. Her dad was a corporal and his was a staff sergeant.
He goes in looking for something to polish the forks. So he's like,
yeah.
He's like, I'm just looking for some polish for the forks. And she goes, oh, it's just over there. And then he sees what she's doing. And again, he takes an interest. He's like, oh, do you mind if I like
what are you
Like,
doing? And she's like,
yeah,
"Peeling
he asks
mushrooms,"
what she's doing.
because it makes people think that they've spent more time on their meal than they have. And I'm like, that's pretty clever.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, because it just reassures people, like, look, if we're peeling the mushrooms, we're putting care into everything.
Everything's banging. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then
Just
again,
insane.
that goes back to the detail of the forks, where he's like, "Do you mind if I help you out with that?"
Yeah, well, he says so,
And-
doesn't he? Don't you have a star? Should do this or something? She's like, I like doing it. It's time well spent.
Yeah, she says she
Time well
knows.
spent. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
She says she knows Carmen, and he apologizes to her for doing her having to do the favor. She goes, "No, I don't do favors," and I like that. It's like, again, here, like in
Well, this is where it starts to break down Richie's sort of worldview, because like he's like, oh, Carmy only got me in here because Carmy knows people, and he's probably pestered someone to do this as like under
to get him
duress.
off,
And
to get him off his hands.
Yeah, and Terry's like, no, I did this because I wanted to, because I did this because you deserve it, not because it was a favor to someone I know.
And plus, like in this world, people are adults and speak to each other with respect like adults, and there's no there's no ulterior motives behind what you're going to say.
There's no wheels within wheels. There's no like secret agendas. It's just like
that's it.
Yeah, like it becomes very clear very quickly that Carmy's like obviously just called her up and said, "Can I send him as a stage?" And he's not asked as a favor. He's like he's actually. Turns out he's talked very glowingly about him.
Well, that's it. This is where the hammer blow falls on like Richie's worldview, and it's like Carmy said, "You're good with people," and you are.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the bomb that goes. And then Richie, it's like blow Richie's mind. Like Carmy believes in him.
Yeah, because she like again, Chef Terry sees everything. She's clearly seen the whole like pizza thing where he's brought it over to the table and.
But he's here because he finally understands that he's here because Carmy sees this potential in him and wants him to develop it.
Yeah. Chef Terry will have heard everything. Garrett will have reported all the fork nonsense and everything. Like, but before that, we do get the story of her father and all these.
It's a great story. Yeah,
it's a great story. Olivia Colman as well. Just showing up for one episode again.
Just turning up for 5 minutes.
Random guest stars who just pop up.
Just knocking out the park.
Acting her ass off, yeah.
Yeah. Talking about walking all night, unemployed, angry, depressed.
Just to go, not to go too far into it, I was talking to Tom before the show started. So Olivia Colman was nominated for an Emmy for Best Supporting Actress. She lost to Jamie Lee Curtis, obviously. Which is fair because she doesn't have as much to do as Jamie Lee Curtis, and she doesn't have as much space to sort of spread out. But what she does get, and what she has to work with, she fucking works with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think as well, like the difference between her as like a head chef and Carmy as a head chef and night and day. Like she's almost like
you know
Zen,
why?
like
You know why? Because she's failed.
Yeah. Whereas
she says, like I opened a massive restaurant. I was arrogant. I was headstrong. I thought I was invincible, and it blew up. It blew up in my face.
Yeah, I lost everything. Yeah, she's just. I mean, I still think Mark should have buried her in that ball pool, but that's just me. Yeah, but no, and it's that thing of it's the same thing as Sydney. Sydney tried and failed. Carmy's never failed.
Not on that level anyway.
Not on that level, yeah.
And then he said, "So how did you get the money for this?" Like, "Oh, my mum sold a house."
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, said my dad died the summer before, and only child. My mom sold the house and put it in here. He goes, "Oh, family business," and she's like, "Yeah." He's asked if she was close to her, and she says, "Yeah, she's my best friend." She goes, "You?" My best friend's ma was like my ma. I'm like, oh my God, really? Holy Lord. Woo.
See, I genuinely thought he was going to go, "I've never met your mum," because that would have been funnier.
Yeah. That's really good.
That's a beautiful story about like she never really knew her dad until she was like packing up his house.
Yeah. This is that horrible thing. It's that like, you think you know people like.
Well, I think they were just never that close. Her dad seems like one of those like very
military guy,
uptight military guys, very traditional, very like probably didn't have a lot of time for his kids.
Yeah, all his belongings, his whole life. Found a stash of pocket notebooks he must have taken with him when he was on tour, and full of all these details, like the palm trees he'd seen or escargot he'd tried, or the time the ocean looked purple. and the way he wrote everything, it was like a reminder, don't forget this moment, or don't forget this is interesting.
But
This
guess what,
strange
Tom?
detail.
It's another man who can't express his feelings and can't talk to the people in his life.
Yeah. Yeah.
He probably saw people burning in a tank going,
yeah, but he wrote about all these beautiful things that he could never share with his daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want
all
to
these
get
wonderful experiences. Yeah, but all these wonderful experiences.
I know.
He never told his family about.
We're progressive 21st century men. Like,
I
cried during this scene. Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, the stuff we talk about on this show about, tapping into yourself and getting, dude, I couldn't say this stuff as a teenager. And that wasn't that long ago for me. As a teenager, I would never have said these things out loud because of the whole macho BS crap. So it's still very much there. I had to become a grown-ass man to be able to be okay with being honest with people. It took a long time,
I've always just been weird then. Yeah.
I mean, the word macho has never been mentioned in with my name, but
the only macho I like is the Macho Man Randy Savage and the song Macho Man by the Village People.
Forgotten gem right there. But no, that the idea of being closed off and reserved, absolutely, that was me at one point in time.
This is the thing that all of this good men's mental health stuff is trying to help break down, because it's okay to talk to people, Won't think
and this is the point of the show, is that talk.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Jessica comes in to call her away, and she thanks her, and she tells Jessica, when Jessica tells him, don't be a stranger. Terry says, say hi to Carmen for me. He says, will do. And then she says,
before Jessica comes in, she's telling the story to Richie, and she says, my father always signed off his journal the same way.
Yeah, and then she didn't finish.
And she doesn't finish it because Richie runs after her. What did he like? He's 100%. What is it? Like what
did he say?
Yeah,
and then he sees it.
Yeah, we figured it out.
It's been there the whole time.
It's great. Yeah, she says he believes in you. What makes you say that? He told me, and he said you're good with people. He's not wrong. And that's when he tries to get her attention, and she's already gone. And then he looks up and sees the words "every second counts," which brings us full circle. And then Taylor Swift plays us out. What an episode!
Yeah,
it's just beautiful. It's an absolutely beautiful episode. I can't go back. It's an episode that changes your perception of Richie across the entire series. Like going back and I watched season 1 differently after I'd watched this episode for the first time.
Yeah, I feel like I would, to be fair.
It's essentially a training montage, but done incredibly well.
I mean, that's damning it with very faint praise, Joe.
Yeah, no, but but it's not just him learning. He already had the skills. He just needed to apply them in a better way. That's the thing. It's again, like, Eben Moss is a phenomenal actor anyway.
And would it surprise you to know that he won an Emmy for this?
I was just looking at IMDb then, and on there, this is the highest rated episode of the show.
Good. It should be.
Yeah.
This followed by Fishes.
Yeah.
Wow.
This got a 9 point.
And I think it depends what floats your boat as opposed to which one you prefer. I mean, I like them both, but this one for me is head and shoulders above Fishes. Just because
as a 1-2 punch, it's great.
Yeah.
Again, we talk, don't we? I say this. I feel like I say this every week, and we talk about this every week. This is a show that lives in the quiet moments between two people, and there are so many of those great scenes in this episode. Like both the one-on-ones with Garrett, that little like lingering bit of sadness with Jessica, the little bit with Chef Terry, even the phone call with Carmy, and then especially the phone call with Tiff. Like they're all-timer, like top scene, like best scenes in the entire show, or some of the best scenes in the entire show are in this episode.
And you're pulling for Richie at this point, and then like anytime something good happens for him, I'm always like, oh, but what about the next episode?
The other shoe's gonna drop sometime,
right? Like I don't remember. I legit have only watched this series one time all the way through. So as we rewatched, a lot of it's brand new to me because I'd forgotten or whatever. But well, kids, there you have it. There's episode 7. Speaking of what happens next episode, we're all going to find out together, I suppose. But
might be something to do with the fire suppression system.
Oh, yeah. Well,
if they fail one more time, that's it.
Teaser.
Oh, God.
I'm just saying.
Oh, no.
Fact,
Jay-
he died trying to fix it. We saw that.
That's right.
He did nearly die.
Freaking Fact, man. They're going to find Fact in there, just his corpse just smoking. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
well,
I
he's
didn't
gone
tell you,
and done
Jay,
it.
Mike Madison died. Like, he has an on-screen death. It's really traumatic.
They're like, well, it's going to happen eventually. Jay, what's your final thoughts as we get out of here with this one?
This was probably the best episode I've seen of the show so far. Like I say, probably it was. It was just brilliant. I feel like, so obviously, like from the way Richie was in season 1, I feel like this is kind of rewarding you for wanting to invest in him as a character, which is kind of like what the whole point of the episode is. It's Carmy investing in Richie as a person. And yeah, Evan Moss-Baccarat was phenomenal in this episode, especially like as we've kind of like touched on, just like his facial expressions, a lot of the sort of like body language and the sort of like acting he was doing without speaking was just as good, if not better, than some of the delivery of his lines. So yeah, but yeah, it was really, really good. I'm excited to see where he goes next.
For sure. What you think, Joe?
Yeah, again, as a double header, this Fishes and then this, it's stressful, pull your hair out nonsense, and then this is genuinely kind of uplifting and nice. We all love Richie. Jay came around quite quickly in the first season because he's such an incredibly complex character. Like, he doesn't know how to help himself and won't ask for help because he's such a ruddy bloody bloke.
Right.
Like,
yeah. Well,
but this is the first. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, even looking back now from seeing this episode, you feel like a lot of it is that's just his defense mechanism.
Yeah.
Like people fuck with him all the time, and he thinks this is another like thing of just someone just fucking with him.
See, but now he's got his new armor. He doesn't have to. You see, and it's just the phone call between him and Tiff is generally one of the most heartbreaking things I've seen. Because his entire world gets smashed away.
It's like in the Simpsons episode, you know, you can actually pinpoint the moment.
His heart rips in half. Yeah, yeah, and it's just like 5 words, like Frank asked me to marry him, like, and it's it. It's done. There's no. It could be 9 Taylor Swift. I could get Taylor Swift to show up. It wouldn't matter. That chance is gone.
Yeah.
And but he then finds purpose, and this is what I've said all the way through this, is that Richie needs purpose. He needs to do something. And now he has that. And let's hope it carries through, because I genuinely can't remember what happens.
Yeah, I have no recollection. I'll find out with Jay.
I think there is a fire suppression thing, and I think it comes back to more Jewish lightning from what I remember.
Jewish lightning, my God. Tacey, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I mean, what more is to say? Look, we put our cards on the table early doors last season. Richie's the best character. Richie's my favorite character. I think it's because of this episode. This episode like made me retroactively go back into the first season and love Richie more. As Joe said, it's like it's the rebirth, isn't it? One of his worlds explodes early in this episode, but then a whole new one opens up, and who knows where Richie's going to go. I'm sure he's still going to scream fuck at people, but you know, but maybe in a slightly more refined way. So,
yeah, that's a lot more show to go, kids, and a lot more stuff to go with this character for sure. As the guy said, complex character. Going through a lot of things, self-respect, self-doubt, again, not knowing his purpose, and then we get to chip away like at a piece of clay. We're chipping away to see what's really underneath. And great signs in this episode if you're pulling for Richie, the character, because, man, he has his moments of shining, and just a little bit of opportunity for people to believe in him, and he starts believing himself. And, you know, don't just assume everything's on fire all the time. You know what I mean? Like, sun's going to come up tomorrow, whether you want it to or not. And even if it doesn't, none of us will be left to know the difference anyway. So, like, try to keep your head up. And that's how we'll leave it. Keep your head up, everybody, even though things are currently on fire where I'm at in the world. So there you go. Thanks, kids, for watching. We appreciate you very much. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow on Boink Studios on YouTube. Check out boinkstudios.com where you'll find links to this show as well as all the other podcasts that these gentlemen have before you that you see here today, and the podcasts that myself have and some other folks there at Boink Studios. So please go check those out. We would appreciate it very much. Be sure to follow us on all the socials, and you can see the ticker ticking across the bottom of the screen the whole episode, kids. Be sure you go check out those socials and be sure you follow all the podcasts. We appreciate it very much. Nothing's behind a paywall. Content dating all the way back to 2014. And thanks for your time, kids. Thanks for sharing and following and liking and subscribing. And be sure to tune in next week as we hit episode 8. We're getting close to wrapping this up for season 2. And we appreciate you going along for the ride. So for Big Tasty, for Joe, for Jay, I'm Tom. We'll see you next time, kids.